Okay, it's day 2 of 25 Days of Orville. Let's go. All right, welcome to the 25 Days of Orville. I'm Tom with Tom's Tech Show. I do things about movies and TV and pop stuff that I like, and photography and all the technologies that I deal with and work with every day. Okay, so today we're going to be covering the master, the creator, the founder of the show, Seth McFarlane playing Captain Ed Mercer. Of course, we know Seth MacFarlane from Family Guy, of course, The Orville, American Dad. Some of the shows I've used to watch way in the past was Dexter's Laboratory. I love Dexter's Laboratory. Oh, Mr. Ice Cream Man, that episode and many others, just amazing. And of course, Johnny Bravo. I even have here, if I look at this right here, this is a toy. This is I think it was a Wendy's kids meal toy. It's a little Johnny Bravo. He does his little pull up things, weightlifting on his little thing, and of course, don't touch my hair. No, don't do it. Don't touch my hair. That's what he do in the show. Just the great shows that he's created over the years. He's also been an actor in Star Trek Enterprise. He was 2 episodes of Star Trek Enterprise, and way back in 1987, there was something called an untitled Star Trek fan film with Seth MacFarlane. 87, I think, was that when Next Generation started, I think, somewhere around there. But so he made a little fan film, and he says he's an avid fan of Star Wars and Star Trek. His favorite Star Wars saga film is Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. His favorite TV series of Star Trek is Star Trek The Next Generation. And here it also says he starred in 2 episodes of Star Trek Enterprise, which we covered. But now we're looking at him for The Orville. And let's kind of go through. I got some pictures snapped off of some of the episodes, so let's kind of look at some of those. So his plight through the episodes. I mean, he does all of his command things that he does, as Captain Ed Mercer on the ship, but kind of his personal path through the show has not been so good. I mean, it starts with him breaking up with Kelly in the beginning, and he does get the ship, and which we later find out Kelly helped him with, and then that kind of causes problems in episodes that he feels he wasn't picked for himself. That he was picked because it was kind of helped and assisted and handed to him, so he never knows if it's really him being has the hopeful authority and confidence or not. So it's then we have the episode early on where they get stuck in the zoo, and I was worried that in the beginning that they would just make all of the episodes about this broken marriage thing and everything and all that for their relationship. But when we see this episode, you kind of get kind of the warmth and the connection that they had when they started their relationship, and that helped brought them together to get married and do all of that. But now this one episode just kind of brings that out. She's like, okay, there was a reason for them to be together. It wasn't just some off the hand thing. There was a reason. Okay, so then we move on to the next bad relationship, which is Priya, which we know that ends up with almost losing the Orville to the future and everyone being killed and all that. So again, another relationship gone bad for Ed. Now the Krill episode, they meet Talea, who he kind of connects with and has a heart for, and saves her in the end. And I really like how the most difficult part of anything, especially in kind of like a wartime, is there's to be casualties, and to try and minimize those. And he's trying to save all the people on the planet, so he has to kill all of the Krill on the ship. But he wants to do the humanitarian thing, and bring all of the kids off because he feels they're innocent and all that, and how that works out. That the Krill don't see it that way. They're still, feel that no, you're still bad. We know you're still bad, and we're gonna teach you a lesson at some point. So it really was heartfelt how they made it work out, and all that. I enjoyed that. So then we get to the Cupid's Dagger episode where we have Derulio back, and we find out that towards the end that maybe the reason that Kelly and Derulio had their relationship that broke up Kelly and Ed's marriage was because Derulio may have had his hormonal thing going on way back then. We don't know. They kind of left it up in the air, but it kind of left a window open that maybe Ed and Kelly could get back together. I'm really not really for that because too many shows have been kind of hijacked and gone bad because the two main characters get together. Moonlighting, Castle, I'm sure there's many other shows that are out there that had this happen, but things tend to go wrong, when you get to that point. So it's nice that they kept them apart because then there can still be tension. There can still be, sometimes affection, sometimes, not, sometimes aggression, and really keep that relationship that way. Plus, we don't need any more real families kind of on board. We already have Dr. Finn, and we already have Bortus, those two families on the ship, so we don't really need more family representation at this point. Okay, so, and they talk about that. Maybe they're going to get together and they maybe try a few dates or something, which, again, I'm glad it kind of ended up wrong. Okay, so now that went bad. Now we have the next relationship for Ed, which is with Janet Tyler, who actually happens to be Talea, the Krill. So, and that, of course, goes completely wrong, and we find out that, she's a Krill, and there's all kinds of things. But Ed still, in the end, is trying to help her and gain her trust and all of that. Okay, then we move on to Ed and the Tomorrow episode, where Kelly from the past gets moved to the present, and they maybe have a relationship. He tries to rekindle that with the Kelly from the past, and after a little while, he realizes that he doesn't want to keep up with the Kelly from the past anymore, and of course, that whole thing causes a big timeline problem in the next episode, and we get it all put back together in the very end when Ed calls and asks for the second date, and then finally, at the end of season 2, she says yes to the second date, and the timeline is then completely restored. And now we're off on to season 3 in a little while. Okay, so that's kind of Ed, and I just kind of wanted to see throughout the 2 seasons, he's just had this up and down thing with relationships. He just can't seem to keep them on track, can't seem to keep them going. I'm hoping that, of course, maybe he'll have a relationship that covers a few episodes and maybe season 3 that won't have to end in tragedy or him getting his heart broken, that maybe, they just want to take a job somewhere else so they get transferred or something else, that it doesn't derail it, and maybe they can have this person in the relationship do like a guest star thing every once in a while, maybe give kind of that relationship kind of thing to Ed. But still, we didn't have in like Star Trek, the original series. I mean, Kirk never really had any relationships other than the ones that he would meet, for the episode. Picard had a few relationships that were an episode long or so, but we can still continue that, I guess, if we want. But I'm just glad that Seth MacFarlane is here, and that here it says was supposed to board the first plane which crashed into the Twin Towers on September 11th, but missed the flight due to his travel agent giving him the wrong departure. So I guess we need to find this travel agent and thank them for their misinformation, so that we could have all the other wonderful things of entertainment that Seth MacFarlane has brought to us. And just hoping for Ed Mercer to be able to, continue to captain the Enterprise, continue to captain the Orville, and continue to bring us the episodes that we love. And I'm really having high hopes and everything for season 3. Since they're, off onto Hulu. That should be, more amazingness to come our way and more Captain Ed Mercer. All right. So that is our vignette of Seth MacFarlane, Captain Ed Mercer, on day 2 of the 25 days of the Orville. Stay tuned. There'll be more shows coming every day all the way until Christmas. All right. Well, thanks for watching this one, and take care.